So here's the Dansker S59, the 4K dual channel dashcam, coming in at a price of close to 5,000 rupees. So straight up on the box you can see the design of the camera. This comes in a pretty much chrome color, has a very unique design, has a wide display close to about 3.16 inch and also gets a rear camera. So you get the Dansker dashcam logo right at the front of the box. And the first thing in the dashcam which you get is a user guide highlighting how you can connect the camera to the video app. Along with that, some other important information which you might want to take a look at. So here's the main front camera, the Dansker S59 4K. So this has a very unique design, I must say. The kind of first one seen from Dansker, you get this lens module right at the front, and this lens module is movable up and down. So you can tilt the angle and adjust it according to your requirement. Gets a very large sticker mount right at the top, which is again detachable, so you can easily remove this camera from the windshield whenever you want. At the side of the camera you get 3 control buttons, a power button, down button and a settings and a menu button. At the back you get the Dansker logo right here on top. You have this nice chrome finish right here, silver finish, which is making this camera look much more premium than it actually is. And you get this super wide 3.16 inch display right at the back. On the other side you get a USB Type-C port for power, an aux port for the rear camera and a memory card slot. So a very cool looking and a premium dashcam design, has some elegance in it, has some class in it. So definitely the one to consider if you're someone who prefers to have a very premium design language and a very good looking or a cool looking factor for your dash camera. So the next thing in the box is the main power cable. So this is basically a hardware kit. So you get all the details of the hardware kit printed right here on the box. So you have the yellow wire, that's VCC, red that is ACC and a black for grounding. And you also get some indications regarding the voltage. So on one side you get an L-shaped Type-C connector, and on the other end you get fuse tabs, one for the VCC, one for the ACC and another for the ground control. So this ensures that the dashcam is directly tapped into the fuse box of the car and will enable parking monitoring. You also get an external GPS logger, which also gets a L-shaped Type-C connector for the connection to the dashcam. At the back of the logger you get a sticker which you can use to attach this to the front windshield. And here is the rear camera, a standard design for many dash cams in this price range. You get this windshield mount and the rear camera is 360-degree rotatable. Gets a Type A to Type B 4-pin connector, and you also get a LED indicator on the one side. Lastly in the box you get this rear camera cable which gets this aux port at one end, and on the other end you get a 4-pin male connector for the rear camera. So the S59 is a compelling dashcam package, considering this offers a front 4K and a real full HD resolution, and you kind of get this at a price of close to 5,000 rupees. So definitely something to consider. So now let's move on and take a look at all the on-screen settings of the S59 along with the video quality and the number plate readability of this dashcam. So here's the Dansker S59 currently mounted on my windshield, and as you can see you have this split screen mode, which is basically showing you the front camera on the left side and the rear camera on the other side. So to enter the settings of the camera, just press and hold the menu button for 3 seconds and then you enter the settings menu. So first off you get the record resolution, so let's just head into that. You have the 4K and the 2.5K resolution along with the 1080p resolution as well. So currently let's just select as 4K. Then you have the loop recording, which is at a minimum of 1 minute up to 2 and 3 minutes as well. Then you have the light source frequency, you have 50 Hz and 60 Hz. Then you have the G sensor sensitivity, currently set at close, but you can set it to low, medium or high. Then you have the parking monitoring, within which you have the low, medium or high setting for the sensitivity of the G sensor within parking monitoring. Then you have the interval record, that is a 1 fps per second, 2 fps per second, 5 fps per second and closed, which is basically off. Then you have the time-lapse recording duration, which can be set at 12 hours, 24 hours and 48 hours and even up to 72 hours. Then you have the recording option, which can enable or disable. Then you have the video watermark to enable or disable. Then you have the WDR option, wide dynamic range. Then you have the rear camera direction, so you can basically change the way the rear camera is oriented. You can roll it and you can reverse it, so do it based on your requirement. Then you have the brightness setting, which is currently set at highest. Let's just set it at low. Following that, you have the volume setting for low, medium and high. So I think I'll set it at low. Then you have the ketone option, which can enable or disable. Then you have the screen sleep option after 1 minute, after 3 minutes, and basically you can turn off the screensaver mode. Then you have the speed units, you can set it to kilometers per hour or miles per hour. Then you have the time zone select, so select the time zone based on your geographical location. Then you have the language setting, to change the language. You have the Wi-Fi info. Then you have the satellite information, basically the GPS information. Then you have the date and time setting. Disk formatting option, full color night for parking monitoring option, you can enable or disable this. Then you have the version information, showing you the version number of this device. Then you have the factory reset option, and then back to the original record resolution. So these were the on-screen settings for this camera. So if you just press the button one time, you get the file explorer wherein you can access the front camera video files, the lock video files, the image files, back camera files, and the rest of the related stuff. So press and hold the top button for 3 seconds to access settings, and just press it one time to access the file explorer. Then you have the switch camera button right here, so you can switch between the front and the rear, or switch between the picture in picture mode using the center button given right here. Then you have the last button, which basically can turn on and turn off the recording from the camera. So these were the on-screen settings for the Dansker S59. So moving on to take a look at the video quality, the front camera shoots a 4K resolution 3840 x 2160p at 25 frames per second at about close to 28,000 kbps of bitrate and about 200 MB per minute of file size. It has this slightly cinematic effect. The color grading is kind of what you see in most cinematic effects, and in terms of number plate readability as well, as you can see on the screen right now, at a close range you will get a very good and a decent number plate read. The color balance also looks quite natural. The contrast and the exposure levels do look decent, and the field of view of the camera is also quite sufficient to cover a wide area right in front of the car. So it has a very cool looking effect. It has this color grading kind of an effect, which is kind of giving off cinematic vibes. So moving on to take a look at the night footage from the front camera, it does tend to catch some glare from the oncoming vehicles, but if there is no light or no illumination at front, the video quality will be pretty much different. In spite of the glare, the video quality is continuing to be good enough. The headlight beam, what you are seeing on the road right now, is like well illuminated within the video, and in terms of low light video footage, it is kind of giving off a good contrasty look. Not what I initially expected, to have some level of graininess or some blurriness. It doesn't have that. The night footage does look quite decent and usable for everyday day-to-day purposes. The darker areas tend to be a bit more darker, and only the well illuminated areas do look to be a bit more lighter. So overall, a very usable footage during night time. So here's the footage from the rear camera. So this is kind of much better than what I initially expected, and this kind of gives you a full HD resolution at a similar 25 fps as the front camera, but the bitrate and the file size is drastically different. The bitrate is about 8000 kbps and the file size is close to 60 MB per minute. And as you can see, even at a close range, the number plate read is quite good. In terms of color balance, in terms of exposure and contrast levels, maybe slightly higher exposed compared to what the front camera is, but overall still a very decent and a very good rear camera quality during daytime. The field of view is also slightly limited, maybe 120 degrees, but still good enough to cover a decent portion right behind the car. So considering the price point, a very good looking and a very decent video footage from the rear camera. Moving on to take a look at the nighttime quality. So even during low light conditions, the rear camera is actually performing very well. Now as you can see, the headlight glare is kind of minimal. It's not very drastic. I mean, you kind of expect that within this budget range, and that's totally okay. The rest of the quality is looking quite good, very usable. Mild graininess here and there, since this is a full HD resolution and not 4K as the front, but still a usable quality, still a decent video quality during low light conditions. Does tend to catch some level of glare and high brightness effect due to illumination, but overall you cannot be expecting much more than this at this particular price point, and the Dansker S59 does not disappoint. Here's a look at the number plate readability at a close range from the front camera. Flawless read, all letters and numbers are clearly visible at a close range. Similar effect applies to the rear camera as well. At a close range, you will get very good number plate reads at maybe a distance of 5 or 10 feet. So the Dansker S59 seems like a solid package for the price. For someone who is taking their first step into the world of dash cams, who want to keep the budget low and at the same time you want a 4K front camera, full HD rear camera with GPS and parking monitoring enabled, and for the fact that you also get a 3.16-inch wide screen display along with Wi-Fi, the S59 would be an ideal choice. So currently this camera is under discount and you'll be getting it at a price of less than $60, or should I say close to about 5,000 Indian rupees. The link to purchase it is given right down below in the description, and as soon as you click it, you will be redirected to the Dansker website wherein you will need to fill out a form, after which Dansker is going to contact you for the sale. If you do have any doubts or queries regarding this camera, just write that down in the comments. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if this video has helped you out in one or the other way, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and share this video with all your friends who are looking for budget 4K dash cameras. See you in the next one.